Nominating Michelle Obama is an attempt to restore the face of the Democratic Party. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we embark on a journey through the remarkable life of an extraordinary woman, Michelle Obama. Will Michelle Obama complete what Biden started? Do the American people have a different opinion? A story worth following. So we will begin gradually by introducing the beginning of Michelle Obama and how he developed. A story worth following. So we will begin gradually by introducing the beginning of Michelle Obama and how he developed. Growing in USA and globally. Born on January 17, 1964, in Chicago, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson's early life was defined by hard work, perseverance, and a thirst for knowledge. Michelle's parents instilled in her the values of education and community, which paved the way for her future successes. Michelle's academic prowess led her to Princeton University, and later to Harvard Law School, where she excelled and earned her Juris Doctor degree. We start with careful gradualness. Part 1. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama, born January 17, 1964, is an American attorney and author who served as the First Lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017, being married to former President Barack Obama. Raised on the south side of Chicago, Obama is a graduate of Princeton University and Harvard Law School. In her early legal career, she worked at the law firm Sidley Austin, where she met her future husband. She subsequently worked in nonprofits and as the Associate Dean of Student Services at the University of Chicago. Later, she served as Vice President for Community and External Affairs of the University of Chicago Medical Center. Michelle married Barack in 1992 and they have 2 daughters. Obama campaigned for her husband's presidential bid throughout 2007 and 2008, delivering a keynote address at the 2008 Democratic National Convention. She has subsequently delivered speeches at the 2012, 2016, and 2020 conventions. As First Lady, Obama served as a role model for women and worked as an advocate for poverty awareness, education, nutrition, physical activity, and healthy eating. She supported American designers and was considered a fashion icon. Obama was the first African-American woman to serve as First Lady. After her husband's presidency, Obama's influence has remained high. In 2020, she topped Gallup's poll of the most admired woman in America for the 3rd year running. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson was born on January 17, 1964, in Chicago, Illinois, to Fraser Robinson 31935,199 own, a city water plant employee and Democratic precinct captain, and Marion Shields Robinson B. July 30, 1937, a secretary at Spiegel's catalog store. Her mother was a full-time homemaker until Michelle entered high school. The Robinson and Shields families trace their roots to pre-Civil War African Americans in the American South. On her father's side, she is descended from the Gullah people of South Carolina's Low Country region. Her paternal great-great-grandfather, Jim Robinson, was born into slavery in 1850 on Friendfield Plantation, near Georgetown, South Carolina. He became a freedman at age 15 after the war. Some of Obama's paternal family still reside in the Georgetown area. Her grandfather, Fraser Robinson, Jr., built his own house in South Carolina. He and his wife LaVaughn returned to the Lowcountry from Chicago after retirement. Among her maternal ancestors was her great-great-great-grandmother, Malvinia Dorsey Shields, born into slavery in South Carolina but sold to Henry Walls Shields, who had a 200-acre farm in Clayton County, Georgia, near Atlanta. Malvinia's first son, Adolphus T. Shields, was biracial and born into slavery around 1860. Based on DNA and other evidence, in 2012 researchers said his father was likely 20-year-old Charles Marion Shields, son of Malvinia's master. They may have had a continuing relationship, as she had 2 more mixed-race children and lived near Shields after emancipation. Taking his surname, she later changed her surname. As was often the case, Malvinia did not talk to relatives about Adolphus's father. Adolphus Shields, with his wife Alice, moved to Birmingham, Alabama, after the Civil War. They were great-great-grandparents of Robinson, whose grandparents had moved to Chicago. Other of their children's lines migrated to Cleveland, Ohio, in the 20th century. All 4 of Robinson's grandparents had multiracial ancestors, reflecting the complex history of the U.S. Her extended family has said that people did not talk about the era of slavery when they were growing up. Her distant ancestry includes Irish, English, and Native American roots. Among her contemporary extended family is Rabbi Capers Funai, born in Georgetown, South Carolina. Funai is the son of her grandfather Robinson's sister and her husband, and he is about 12 years older than Michelle. Funai converted to Judaism after college. He is a paternal first cousin once removed. Robinson's childhood home was on the upper floor of 7436 South Euclid Avenue in Chicago's South Shore community area, which her parents rented from her great aunt, who had the first floor. She was raised in what she describes as a conventional home. With the mother at home, the father works, you have dinner around the table. Her elementary school was down the street. She and her family enjoyed playing games such as Monopoly, reading, and frequently saw extended family on both sides. She played piano, learning from her great aunt, who was a piano teacher. The Robinsons attended services at nearby South Shore United Methodist Church. They used to vacation in a rustic cabin in White Cloud, Michigan. She and her 21-month older brother, Craig, skipped the second grade. Her father suffered from multiple sclerosis, which had a profound effect on her. Subsequently, she was determined to stay out of trouble and perform well in school. By 6th grade, Michelle joined a gifted class at Bryn Mawr Elementary School, later renamed Bouchet Academy. She attended Whitney Young High School, Chicago's first magnet high school, established as a selective enrollment school, where she was a classmate of Jesse Jackson's daughter Santita. The round-trip commute from the Robinsons' South Side home to the near West Side, where the school was located, took 3 hours. Michelle recalled being fearful of how others would perceive her, but disregarded any negativity around her and used it to fuel me, to keep me going. She recalled facing gender discrimination growing up, saying, for example, that rather than asking her for her opinion on a given subject, people commonly tended to ask what her older brother thought. She was on the honor roll for 4 years, took advanced placement classes, was a member of the National Honor Society, and served as student council treasurer. She graduated in 1981 as the salutatorian of her class. Robinson was inspired to follow her brother to Princeton University, which she entered in 1981. She majored in sociology and minored in African American studies, graduating cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts in 1985 after completing a 99-page senior thesis titled Princeton Educated Blacks and the Black Community under the supervision of Walter Wallace. Robinson recalls that some of her teachers in high school tried to dissuade her from applying, and that she had been warned against setting my sights too high. She believed her brother's status as a student in good standing, he graduated in 1983, may have helped her during the admission process. But she was resolved to demonstrate her own worth. She has said she was overwhelmed during her first year, attributing this to the fact that neither of her parents had graduated from college, and that she had never spent time on a college campus. The mother of a white roommate reportedly tried to get her daughter reassigned because of Michelle's race. Robinson said being at Princeton was the first time she became more aware of her ethnicity. Despite the willingness of her classmates and teachers to reach out to her, she still felt like a visitor on campus. There were also issues of economic class. I remember being shocked, she says, by college students who drove BMWs. I didn't even know parents who drove BMWs. While at Princeton, Robinson became involved with the Third World Center, now known as the Carla Fields Center, an academic and cultural group who supported minority students. She ran their daycare center, which also offered after-school tutoring for older children. She challenged the teaching methodology for French because she felt it should be more conversational. As part of her requirements for graduation, she wrote a sociology thesis entitled Princeton Educated Blacks and the Black Community. She researched her thesis by sending a questionnaire to African American graduates, asking that they specify when and how comfortable they were with their race prior to their enrollment at Princeton, and how they felt about it when they were a student and since then. Of the 400 alumni to whom she sent the survey, fewer than 90 responded. Her findings did not support her hope that the Black alumni would still identify with the African American community, even though they had attended an elite university and had the advantages that accrue to its graduates. Robinson pursued professional study, earning her Juris Doctor degree from Harvard Law School in 1988. By the time she applied for Harvard Law, biographer Bond wrote, her confidence had increased. This time around, there was no doubt in her mind that she had earned her place. Her faculty mentor at Harvard Law was Charles Ogletree, who has said she had answered the question that had plagued her throughout Princeton by the time she arrived at Harvard Law: whether she would remain the product of her parents or keep the identity she had acquired at Princeton. She had concluded she could be both brilliant and black. At Harvard, Robinson participated in demonstrations advocating the hiring of professors who were members of minority groups. She worked for the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau, assisting low-income tenants with housing cases. She is the third First Lady with a postgraduate degree, after her two immediate predecessors, Hillary Clinton and Laura Bush. She later said her education gave her opportunities beyond what she had ever imagined. Her father was a pump operator for the Chicago Water Department, while her mother stayed at home to care for Michelle and her older brother Craig. As she watched her father refuse to give in to multiple sclerosis, use 2 canes to get to his job, and save money to send her to college, she learned that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them. Michelle earned a bachelor's degree from Princeton University and a Juris Doctor degree from Harvard Law School. In 1988, she returned to Chicago to join the firm of Sidley Austin. It was there that she met Barack Obama, a summer associate she was assigned to advise. They were married in 1992. By that time, Michelle had turned her energies to public service. She was Assistant Commissioner of Planning and Development in Chicago City Hall before becoming the founding executive director of the Chicago chapter of Public Allies, an AmeriCorps program that prepares young people for public service. In 1996, she joined the University of Chicago as Associate Dean of Student Services, where she developed the university's first community service program. In 2002, she went to work for the University of Chicago Medical Center, where in 2005 she became the Vice President of Community and External Affairs. During these years, the Obama's daughters Malia and Sasha were born. As First Lady, Michelle Obama initiated Let's Move, a program aiming to end childhood obesity within a generation. Through it, elected officials, business leaders, educators, parents, and faith leaders work together to provide more nutritious food in schools, bring healthy and affordable food into underserved communities, plant vegetable gardens across America, and provide new opportunities for kids to be more active. Each year, local schoolchildren help plant and harvest the garden she started on the White House South Lawn. Its vegetables and fruits were served at the White House and donated to soup kitchens and food banks. During Barack Obama's second term, Michelle spearheaded the Reach Higher initiative to help students understand job opportunities and the education and skills they need for those jobs. She encouraged young people to continue their education past high school and technical schools and community colleges, as well as at colleges and universities. Worldwide, she championed the education of girls and women. In a commencement address at the City College of New York, she told graduates, "Never view your challenges as obstacles." It is a lesson she has embodied all her life. Throughout her time in the White House, Mrs. Obama worked to support veterans and military families. She also focused her energies on what she calls her most important role, mom-in-chief to her daughter, who grew into accomplished young women during their 8 years in the White House. I stop at this point today. Soon we will publish Part 2. I hope I added something to you. You enjoyed the last few minutes. We will meet with you soon. Thank you for watching.